You won't have to manage alone. This community takes care of its own. Clara turns away from the grave. Every powerful man in town surrounds Papa now. The men who run the banks, the courts, the government, they pat his back and promise support. They speak about what a good man he is, how he's served this town faithfully for 15 years. He's one of the finest sheriffs we've ever had, she hears Judge Morrison tell someone. If anyone can get through this tragedy, it's Bill Hayes. Salt of the earth, Mayor Garrett agrees. We need to rally around him. Clara walks toward the church, leaving the crowd of mourners behind. Tommy and Jesse follow silently. The gun bumps against her side with each step. She understands now that these men will never see Papa for what he really is. They'll protect him because he's one of them. They'll believe his lies because the truth would shatter the image they have of their perfect small-town sheriff. Justice won't come from badges or courtrooms or proper channels. Justice will come from her. Papa's truck pulls into the driveway with a passenger Clara doesn't recognize. A young woman with blonde hair and nervous eyes climbs out, smoothing her dress. Papa walks around to take her hand. "Children, come meet Linda." Clara appears in the doorway, with Tommy and Jesse behind her. The woman looks barely older than Clara herself, maybe 22 or 23. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes. "Hello there. Your father's told me so much about you." Tommy stares at the ground. Jesse hides behind Clara's legs. Clara studies the woman's face, looking for something that might save them both. "Linda's going to be staying for dinner," Papa says. "Maybe longer." "It's only been 3 weeks," Clara says quietly. Papa's jaw tightens. "Clara, since Mama died, it's only been 3 weeks. Your mother would want me to move on. She wouldn't want me to be alone." That evening, Clara watches Papa carry Mama's clothes to the truck in black garbage bags. Mama's perfume bottles disappear from the bathroom counter. Her coffee mug vanishes from the kitchen cabinet. By sunset, it's like Mama never existed at all. Through the thin walls, Clara hears Papa and Linda talking in the living room. "She was always clumsy," Papa says, "always bumping into things, falling downstairs. I tried to help her, but she was stubborn." "That's terrible," Linda whispers. Toward the end, she was getting worse, unstable. Sometimes she'd just fly into these rages over nothing. I was afraid she might hurt the children. Clara's hands clench into fists. The gun sits in her coat pocket, waiting. The poor woman. It must have been some kind of condition. The doctor said it might have been her medication, made her dizzy, confused. I blame myself for not watching her more carefully. Clara can't listen anymore. She slips out the back door and sits on the porch steps. The night air carries the scent of honeysuckle and lies. Papa is already rewriting history, turning Mama into a dangerous woman who needed to be controlled. Soon Linda will believe every word, just like everyone else. Time is running out. Papa is moving fast, erasing Mama and replacing her with someone new. Someone who won't ask questions about bruises or broken dishes or why the children never speak anymore. Clara touches the gun through her coat. Tomorrow, she decides. Tomorrow it ends. Clara walks into the kitchen at dawn, the gun heavy in her hands. Papa sits at the table in his uniform, badge glinting on his chest, coffee steaming in his favorite mug. The same mug Mama used to wash every morning. The same table where they used to eat breakfast as a family. Papa looks up from his newspaper. "You're up early." Couldn't sleep. His eyes drop to the gun. The coffee cup freezes halfway to his lips. "Clara, what are you doing?" "What you should have done a long time ago. Put that down. You don't know how to use it." Clara's hands don't shake. "You taught me, remember? Every Sunday after church, you'd take us out to the old quarry. Said every Hayes needed to know how to shoot." Papa sets the coffee cup down slowly. "That's different. This isn't a target." Neither was Mama. "Your mother fell. It was an accident. I was there, Papa. I watched you kill her." Papa's voice drops to the tone he uses with suspects. You're confused, sweetheart. Traumatized. This grief is making you see things that didn't happen. Tommy was there too. Jesse saw it. We all saw what you did. They're children. Children don't understand what they see. Clara raises the gun, pointing it at his chest, at the badge he wears like armor. I understand perfectly. Papa's face changes. The mask slips away, revealing something cold and calculating underneath. You won't pull that trigger. You're not a killer, Clara. You're a good girl. Mama was a good woman, didn't stop you. Your mother was weak. She couldn't protect you children from the world. I can. From the world, or from you. Papa stands slowly, his chair scraping against the floor. I'm your father. I've kept you safe, fed you, housed you. Everything I do is for this family. You destroyed this family. Put the gun down, Clara. We'll forget this happened. You're upset, not thinking clearly. Clara's finger finds the trigger. I'm thinking clearer than I ever have. Papa takes a step toward her. You don't have what it takes. You're just a scared little girl. The gunshot echoes through the kitchen. Papa's coffee cup hits the floor, shattering into pieces. His body follows, collapsing in the same spot where Mama died 3 weeks ago. Clara lowers the gun. The kitchen is quiet except for the clock ticking on the wall. Justice doesn't always come from courtrooms and badges. Sometimes it comes from 16-year-old girls who refuse to be scared anymore. Clara picks up the phone with steady hands. The number comes easily, the same one Papa called 3 weeks ago. Morrison answers on the second ring. Deputy Morrison, this is Clara Hayes. There's been an accident at our house. Clara? What kind of accident? My father fell in the kitchen, hit his head. He's gone. Morrison's voice sharpens. I'll be right there. Don't touch anything. Yes, sir. Clara hangs up and walks to where Tommy and Jesse stand in the doorway, staring at Papa's body. She pulls them against her sides, same as she did the morning Mama died. But this time feels different. This time she's the one in control. Is Papa sleeping? Jesse asks. He's not going to hurt anyone anymore, Clara says softly. Tommy looks up at her with understanding in his eyes. What do we tell Morrison? We tell him Papa fell. Just like he told us Mama fell. Morrison's cruiser pulls up 15 minutes later. Clara opens the door before he can knock. Her brother's behind her like shadows. Where is he? Kitchen. Same place where Mama died. Morrison examines the scene, just like he did before. Papa lies in a pool of blood, his badge catching the morning light. The gun rests on the counter where Clara placed it. Looks like he was cleaning his service weapon, Morrison says. Must have discharged accidentally. That's what it looks like, Clara agrees. Morrison pulls out his notebook, clicking his pen. This has been hard on you, children. First your mother, now this. We'll manage. You're only 16, Clara. You can't raise these boys alone. Clara looks at her brothers, then back at Morrison. She's inherited more than Papa's house and his debts. She's inherited his power to control the story, to decide what truth gets told. We're Hayes' children, she says. We take care of our own. Some stories end exactly where they began. But sometimes the ending isn't really an ending at all. Papa killed Mama in front of the children, but his own daughter raised the gun and ended him. Papa's hands squeezed tighter around Mama's neck. Her feet barely touch the kitchen floor now, toes scraping against worn linoleum as she claws at his wrists. The coffee pot still steams on the counter behind them. Clara stands frozen in the doorway, watching her father's knuckles turn white. Papa, stop. The words come out as a whisper. He doesn't hear her, doesn't see her. His sheriff's badge catches the morning light streaming through the kitchen window, throwing silver across Mama's face. Her eyes find Clara's over Papa's shoulder, wide, desperate, then still. Tommy grabs Clara's arm. What's happening? Shh. Clara pulls him and Jesse behind her, but she can't look away. Can't move. Papa releases his grip. Mama's body slides down the counter, her head striking the edge with a wet sound. Blood pools beneath her dark hair. The kitchen clock ticks loud in the sudden quiet. Papa turns around slowly. His chest rises and falls like he's been running. His uniform shirt is wrinkled, his badge askew. He looks at his 3 children standing in the doorway like he's surprised to find them there. "Get to your rooms!" Clara's voice cracks. "Papa, you killed her." "I said get to your rooms. Is Mama sleeping?" Jesse asks. He's 8. He doesn't understand what sleep looks like. Papa's jaw tightens. "She fell. Hit her head. Now go upstairs." "But she's bleeding," Tommy whispers. "Tommy!" Papa's voice drops to a growl. "Take your brothers upstairs, now!" Clara doesn't move. Blood creeps across the linoleum toward her bare feet. Mama's wedding ring glints on her still hand. "You want to join her?" "No, sir." "Then move." Clara reaches back for her brother's hands. Tommy's palm is sweaty. Jessie's trembles in hers. She backs toward the staircase, never taking her eyes off Papa. "Don't come down until I call you." Their feet are silent on the wooden steps. From Clara's bedroom window, she can see the kitchen through the thin curtains below. Papa stands over Mama's body for a long moment, then grabs her under the arms and starts dragging her across the floor. Her legs leave dark streaks on the linoleum. Clara presses her hand over Jessie's eyes. Some things children shouldn't see, even when they've already seen too much. Clara sits on her bed, with Tommy and Jessie pressed against her sides. Their bodies shake like leaves in a storm. Downstairs, Papa's voice carries through the floorboards. "Morrison, it's Sheriff Hayes. Need you to come out to the house. There's been an accident." Tommy looks up at Clara with red eyes. "He's lying." "Shh." Clara strokes his hair, but her own hands won't stop trembling. Papa's voice again, steady and controlled. "My wife fell in the kitchen. Hit her head on the counter. She's gone, Morrison." "I need you here," Jessie whispers. "Why is Papa saying Mama fell?" Clara doesn't answer. She knows exactly why. Papa is Sheriff Hayes, the man who keeps this town safe, the man who speaks at church on Sundays, the man who helped old Mrs. Peterson when her barn caught fire last spring. "People don't question Sheriff Hayes. I was in the shower when it happened," Papa continues into the phone. "Found her on the floor when I came down. The children are upstairs traumatized. Better bring someone from social services." "Clara," Tommy says, "we have to tell them what really happened." "Tell who?" "The deputy." "The police," Clara almost laughs. "Tommy, Papa is the police." "But Morrison will believe us. Morrison works for Papa. They all work for Papa." Jessie starts crying again, quiet sobs that make his whole body shake. Clara pulls him closer, but her mind is already moving. If the law won't help them, she needs something else. Something that speaks louder than badges and uniforms. "Stay here," she tells her brothers. "Don't move. Where are you going?" "I'll be right back." Clara slips out of her room, while Papa's voice drifts up from the kitchen. His bedroom door stands open down the hall. She moves on silent feet across the carpet. His dresser holds loose change and receipts. His closet smells like gun oil and aftershave. But it's the top drawer of his nightstand that holds what she needs. The service revolver sits heavy in her small hands. The metal is cold, the grip worn smooth from use. Clara has seen Papa clean this gun 100 times, watched him check the chamber, and heard his lectures about gun safety. Now all those lessons feel like preparation for this moment. Papa's voice stops. Footsteps cross the kitchen below. Deputy Morrison's cruiser pulls into the gravel driveway as the sun bleeds orange across the horizon. Clara watches from her bedroom window as he steps out, adjusting his hat. Papa meets him at the front door, his face already arranged in the mask of a broken man. "God, Morrison, I don't know what I'm going to do." "Take it easy, Sheriff. I'm here now." Clara moves to the top of the stairs, listening. The gun weighs heavy in her coat pocket. Tommy and Jessie sleep fitfully behind her, finally exhausted from crying. "She was making coffee when it happened," Papa says, his voice cracking perfectly. "I was upstairs getting dressed for work. Heard this terrible crash. Where's the body now?" "Still in the kitchen." "Didn't want to move her until you got here." Clara creeps down the stairs, staying in the shadows. Through the kitchen doorway, she sees Morrison kneeling beside Mama's still form. Papa stands over him, wringing his hands like a man torn apart by grief. Looks like she hit the counter edge, Morrison says. These old houses, all these sharp corners. My Sarah was always clumsy, always bumping into things. I should have been more careful, should have protected her better. Clara watches Papa's shoulders shake, watches him wipe his eyes with the back of his hand. If she didn't know better, she'd believe every word. Even knowing the truth, part of her almost believes it. Sheriff, this isn't your fault. She was only 34, Morrison. We had so many plans, I know. I'm sorry. Morrison stands, brushing dust from his knees. He pulls out a small notebook and clicks his pen. I'll need to ask the children a few questions. Standard procedure. They're sleeping. This has been hard on them. Of course. Maybe later today? They didn't see anything. They were upstairs the whole time. Clara's hand tightens around the gun. Papa's lies come so easily, like he's been practicing them his whole life. Morrison nods and scribbles in his notebook, accepting every word without question. I'll file the report as accidental death. Should have the paperwork ready by this afternoon. Thank you, Morrison. I don't know what this town would do without good men like you. Clara slips back upstairs before they can see her. The gun feels warm now, like it's absorbing her anger. Papa's performance downstairs continues, but she's seen enough. She knows exactly what kind of man she's dealing with. The church overflows with mourners dressed in black. Clara sits in the front pew between Tommy and Jessie, the gun pressing cold against her ribs beneath her coat. Papa sobs into his handkerchief beside her, putting on the performance of his life. Pastor Williams speaks about Mama's kindness, her gentle spirit, her devotion to family. The words feel like knives in Clara's chest. Every person in this church believes they're mourning an accident. Every person here sees Papa as the grieving widower who lost his beloved wife too soon. Sarah Hayes touched every life in this community, the pastor says. Her loss leaves a hole that can never be filled. Papa's shoulders shake. Clara watches him dab his eyes, watches him lean forward like the weight of grief might crush him. If she didn't know better, she'd feel sorry for him. After the service, people line up to offer condolences. Mayor Garrett grips Papa's hand firmly. If you need anything, Sheriff, anything at all, you just call. Thank you, Tom. That means everything. Judge Morrison steps forward next, his wife beside him. Sarah was a treasure. This whole town grieves with you. She was my world, Papa whispers, voice breaking perfectly. Clara stands beside the grave as they lower Mama's casket into the ground. The gun feels heavier with each shovelful of dirt. Behind her, Papa accepts embrace after embrace, handshake after handshake. Banker Phillips approaches with his wife. Sheriff, we've set up a fund for the children's education. Sarah would have wanted that. You're too kind. I don't know how I'll manage without her.